Hi everybody, today is June 6th and I'm going to be talking about a couple things today. The first thing I'm going to talk about is my jewelry. As you can see, I have a gorgeous heart necklace and I have two gorgeous heart earrings, and they're made of Swarovski crystal. And my friend Dawn Swenson, she makes them herself, and she also has multiple sclerosis, and some of the proceeds go to the MS Society or the MS Foundation. And I just think that it is so cool that you can get this gorgeous, beautiful jewelry. You feel so good when you wear it. I have worn it so many times and I get lots of compliments. And by purchasing it, you are helping yourself really by donating to the MS Society. So I just think, Dawn, thank you so much. I think it's a brilliant idea. You do a fabulous job, and I am going to be putting your website on the sidebar, and I don't know where to point. Everybody always points. I don't know what to do, but I'm also going to put a link on my website so you can see. You should check it out. Look at her website. Look at the jewelry. It's beautiful, and I get compliments all the time. So, I also am going to talk about how I stay positive while living with MS. I know a lot of people, they ask me on almost a daily basis how I'm able to do that. And I'm pretty strategic about how I can stay positive. And I'm going to explain to you what I do. And a lot of it, I feel blessed. I pray, I thank God every day because I feel like I was born with a more optimistic attitude. But I think it's so important for me to do the things I'm about to say. And I wrote something up, so it's kind of scripted, but this is what I wrote, just so that it can make sense for you. I wrote about how developing a positive outlook helps me stay optimistic, stress-free, and emotionally healthy. And when life becomes overwhelming, it's easy to feel negative and hopeless. And I think we've all had those days. We've all been there when you're negative and you think, this sucks. I mean, we all have that because it's not fair. We didn't cause ourselves to get MS. So we all have those days. But life isn't going to slow down and it's not going to stop. And I always think, well, I have to make the best of every situation. And I'm going to talk about how I do that. Well, I believe that happiness is a choice. And I think that every day there is potential to be happy. And I think that for me in the morning, I wake up and I really try to think of what I can do that day that's going to make me positive. I do. I know it's not everyone does that, but I do, and it helps me. I try to wake up with a positive attitude and get through the day with a really good outlook. And what I do is I set boundaries for myself. Depending on how much sleep I've had, what the weather is like. Not right now it's summer, so here in Michigan, I know in other parts of the world it's the opposite. But when it's hot outside, I know that I have limitations, so I tend to stay inside more, and I do what's best for my body. And I know what I'm capable of doing and what I'm capable of not doing. So if there's something like right now going to a baseball game and sitting out in the hot sun, I know that's probably not the smartest thing for me to do. Because if I do it, I'll either fall asleep or I'll get upset. So I know that right now on really hot days, that's not the best thing for me to do. And then I know that when my friends are done with the game, I can go have beer with them inside, and then I'm happy and everything is fine. And I also am a huge organizer. I think that I say we, but me. I know that I need to be a really good time manager. I have to schedule my time really carefully, and I organize everything. I have a calendar that I write everything down on. I have a short-term memory, so it's easy for me to forget things, especially little details. So I write everything down, and I feel so accomplished when I have done everything on my calendar I was supposed to do that day, and I cross it off and I think, good, I'm glad that I was able to do everything I was supposed to and I didn't forget because I wrote it down. And I also believe that health and happiness are a team. I really believe that, and I think that there's a strong connection between physical and emotional well-being. And a healthy body is more conducive to happiness. And I've talked about this several times, but I really believe that if you eat healthy, you get enough sleep, you exercise regularly, I know I feel better about myself. I'm living proof that that works, because when I don't do those things, I don't feel as good, and I'm negative and pessimistic. So I know that it works. Like I said, I'm living proof. And I also stay surrounded by other positive people, because when I'm around someone who's negative, they tend to bring me down, and I don't like that. I stay around people who are supportive, who are happy, and who also are incredibly positive. And then I think you can rub off on each other. Positive energy, you can rub off on each other. And I also believe that in business, like at my job, I am more productive when I am positive and optimistic. I do my job better when I'm in a good mood, and that's the absolute truth. I also believe that volunteering is really important. I think it's crucial, actually, because volunteering, you do that to help other people, but really you're helping yourself. I know that when I volunteer and I help people who are less fortunate than I am, I know that they appreciate the help that I'm giving them, but in return, I feel so much better when I help somebody else. So I think volunteering is something that everyone can find benefits from. And I would just like to close by saying that happiness is a conscious way of life. And I think that, when I'm positive, I just feel better about myself. When I'm in a good mood and I am optimistic, I feel better. And I think that other people can sense that. So I hope that everyone knows what I do to stay positive while living with multiple sclerosis. And I also hope that you really look at Dawn's website. This jewelry, it's so beautiful, and I love wearing it. I feel so great when I wear it. So Dawn, thank you so much for showing me how talented you are. I hope you're doing well, and I will be talking to you soon. Bye.